Good morning, everyone. This is Daily Trading Analysis with the weekly recap for this week that has been quite a roller coaster. Yesterday, big tech breakdown continued as cybersecurity firm software CrowdStrike issue took down Microsoft services used worldwide. That gave sellers an excuse to continue pounding tech stocks while defensive segments of the market held up slightly better. So basically, how CrowdStrike software, cybersecurity software, caused one of the world's biggest IT blackouts. It's one of the big mysteries. The reason is a patch, an update, but let's go during a couple of minutes through what is CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity vendor that develops software to help companies detect and block hacks. Basically, their clients are Fortune 500 companies. So all the clients of CrowdStrike are basically a lot of big, huge tech companies. And CrowdStrike is known as an endpoint security, and basically it uses cloud technology to apply cyber protection to devices. So what happened on Friday? CrowdStrike has a software called Falcon. Falcon is a platform developed by the company that's designed to stop cyber breaches using cloud technology. And CrowdStrike software requires deep access to a computer operating system to scan for threats. And in case of yesterday's outage, machines running Microsoft Windows crashed due to a fault in the way that software update from CrowdStrike issued interacted with Windows. This issue started approximately on 8th of July in Australia at 17 UTC, and it continued rolling over through the London Open, through the US Open, and it caused the entire day of sell-off. A fix was issued, and the thing with this fix is that the issue caused a lot of cascade issues for billions of machines, but this fix has to be applied manually. And this is going to cause a lot of issues for days and weeks. One of the major selling points of technology companies is how scalable their businesses are, but since large scales can mean large profits, when issues arise, this can be a double-edged sword when things aren't going well. Because a malfunction in the company's threat monitoring software can cause all Microsoft Windows systems go blackout. So ultimately, as I said, the company was able to deploy a fix, but experts say that these effects of the outage will linger as the solution needs to be applied manually per machine basis. This caused basically CrowdStrike to basically dump for 21% before the open in pre-market trading. Then it recovered a bit to finish the day 11% in the red. So big issues that affected Microsoft machines, Windows machines, Amazon warehouse, and also supply chains issues are again going higher. This is quite important because planes and railroad cargo are not where they are supposed to be, and it will take weeks to fully resolve. So this is not only a Friday issue. This is going to affect how the world works and functions for weeks. So if you think that this is just a Friday issue, a manipulation move, I don't think so. I think basically the move that we got on the Nasdaq on the week, this is 3.95%. The last time we saw a big like this in the red was in April this year with a 5.50. In that pullback, that everyone bought. So now we have issues with Microsoft Windows machines that affect cloud and a lot of top 500 Fortune companies. We have Amazon with issues, Microsoft with issues, Meta with issues, and then we have a large scale global supply chain issue because planes and railroads and trains that move cargo are not able to properly work. So things that I'm watching in this pullback like this is the first thing that I'm watching is this bullish fair value gap on the weekly. This is the weekly chart. This is high time frame. We need to hold this. If not, most probably we will see a relief bounce and then we will continue lower, making lower highs along the way. So before moving into technical analysis, let's just basically review a little bit what happened in a fundamental point, from the fundamental point of view, what happened during this week. We got Fed Chair Powell continue with his dovish comments, but the rest of the week, we got Tuesday retail sales moving basically flat, including autos 0.4, so nothing there. We got no news on Tuesday either. On Wednesday, good news for the mortgages. The 30-year is coming down from the 7%. Building permits month over month. This is a preliminary reading. 3.4, that's good. Housing starts month over month 3%. Manufacturing production going higher. So not big data coming out this week. This week was just basically what Biden said and what Trump said regarding semiconductors. If you are not aware of that, I'm going to link in the upper right corner right now the video that you should watch to be aware of how the president is going to address the export of these high-level semiconductors to China. And this is affecting all the semiconductor sectors: AVGO, AMD, NVIDIA, ASML, TSMC. A lot of them are affected. And this is another excuse, really short sell the Nasdaq. Thursday, initial jobless claims pushing a little bit higher, the same as continuing jobless claims. So this is good for the Fed. A soft labor market is what we need, but no more news either. And on Friday, no news. So everything was focusing on the issues that happened with Biden, with Trump, and also what happened on Friday with CrowdStrike. So I'm going to quickly review what happened on Thursday with Netflix and American Express. But obviously, these earnings are on the background right now because Friday's CrowdStrike event is just crazy big and crazy important. But anyway, Netflix beats estimate, and the ad support membership rose 34%. That's pretty crazy. The streamers global paid membership rose 16% year over year. Crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. Because basically earnings per share got beat, revenue a bit, and total membership it's 277 million paid membership. Netflix is huge. And American Express lifts 2024 profit forecast on robust spending. This is the most important part of the highlight. Robust spending means that customers are still strong on credit. That's how households and the economy it's able to support the high prices and high interest rates. Credit, credit, and more credit. So next week, we are going to see big earnings. We have Verizon on Monday. We have Spotify on Tuesday before open. We have UPS. And on close on Tuesday, we have Tesla, Alphabet, Visa. Wednesday, we have Ford, AT&T. Thursday, we have American Airlines. I mean, it's going to continue increasing. We are starting to see these big mega cap stocks and companies that basically we have to know how are they doing. We have two options. If earnings are good, we might mitigate a little bit some of the issues that happened last week. But if not, if we see weak earnings, this issue, this selling is going to exacerbate. So pretty interesting. I'm going to cover all these earnings as usual. So if you like this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Not to lose and uh, not be aware of all this news. But let's just go to the charts. Let's start. I already talked about the daily, the weekly. Let's talk about the daily because this was our week. Monday, indecision after this big rejection candle. Tuesday, another indecision, and then the dump started with a 3% down day. And I told you that basically this was my level to buy without the CrowdStrike issue. So I was really ready to buy this market. But the CrowdStrike event was just I was not able to trade my live account basically because my firm told me that we cannot trade because of this issue affecting some parts of the infrastructure. So I couldn't trade. I I I didn't want to trade either. So at some point you can see how the age sell-off it's developing. I have some interesting things on the 1 hour chart. I told you about that on Thursday. I was prepared to buy this market on this pivot down here. And the range, this volume that we have on the right side, we have the big volume here and the point of control here. This is from the range of from this to the high. So all this range, it's basically volume on the right hand side. So the point of control was up here and it's moving lower. This is the first bearish sign that I would like to cover. I'm going to remove the point of control, the previous one, and just pivot and analyze the market depending on this point of control, which is right now at 19,960. We are down there at 200 points below. And we took this pivot and we didn't bounce. It's true that we have all these weeks down here, but I'm not going to buy this market with all this context just because I see 3 weeks in candles. Basically, if we go down to the 1 minute, we can see how the sell-off started on the London Open. We go down, we try to rally, we manipulate higher, we reject, and then everyone starts to panic. So pretty weak day, as you can see. Apple was flat on the day. Microsoft was able to recover quite a bit. It was gapping down, just for you to know, 4%. That's crazy. Tesla, 4% in the red. Amazon really also affected by this. It was also gapping down a lot. It was 3% in the red. Google flat, Nvidia minus 2.61 related with the sell-off in semiconductors, and Meta 0.20. Down here I have how Netflix was developing after the earnings. We can see a huge move, but sometimes it takes a couple of days for investors to really assess how to enter this market after good earnings. So Netflix, it's waiting. American Express, really, from the open, it was quite good, but the sell-off really was caused by the CrowdStrike. And CrowdStrike is just minus 11%. So this is the situation right now. So what I'm waiting for, it's some kind of very key level. And if we go to the daily, remember that we are on a weekly imbalance. down here. I'm going to focus on the daily imbalance. As long as we hold the daily, we will be able to hold the weekly also. So on the daily, we have this 50% encroachment. So it's the 50% of this range at 19,635. The 1 hour, you can see that we never touch this dash white line. So I would like taking advantage of the point of control that is there. I would like, let me just show you the volume. Okay, there it is. I would like for this market to continue selling off, even going below the 50% of this range. And then at some point, depending on structure, try to build some kind of, in this case, break with higher lows and also reclaiming the 50% of this range. That would be bullish for me. The first target is quite clear. The point of control in this range. That would be quite an opportunity to have some kind of structure, bullish structure, big investors, big money coming in. This would be the bullish case. For the bearish case, is just not being able to hold. If we go to the 4 hour, we can see that there's this structure down here, which starts basically at 19,500. 500s is bullish because it's the low range of the daily fair value gap. But if not, 400s also look quite good for all these people down here that were accumulating before they move higher to really commit again. So there's a lot of bullish key levels down here. We just have to be patient and we just have to have price action structure to really commit for trades. That's my plan. Things that I like within this plan is that the dollar, it's continued weakening. It bounced a little bit because of the issues. The dollar is just strong as a safe haven. The yields are bouncing a bit, but are still under control, 4.5 in the 2-year and 4.2 in the 10-year. We are still building lower bearish structure. And another thing that I would like to see is small caps recovering a bit, because the sell-off was quite huge. This is not a regular pullback. And this is due to the fact that small companies, the Russell 2000 companies, small caps are more affected by this CrowdStrike event because they don't have enough resources to really fix the problem with their engineers. So this is going to affect more to the small companies than to the larger companies. The RSP is doing something that I don't like. I told you that once we cross all-time highs with momentum, look at this candle, we need to be able to really hold this somehow. And we closed the day below that. And that's quite concerning. We can see how the long term dipped quite a lot. We were quite extended, but still about 68 to 62%. We are still with good readings. And all three metrics are pointing to the downside. Momentum to the downside and trend to the downside. Let's see how the equal weighted ETF behaves coupled with the small caps, because I need this indication of strength depending on the CrowdStrike issue. If small companies and we see the Russell and the RSP turn and show you strength, that means that this CrowdStrike issue, it's started to resolve, to mitigate a bit. And then we can see how the Nasdaq behaves and how we can see key levels supporting the price action. After that, I mean, even in this case in which we hold, any build higher is going to be super difficult to trade because we are in a quite bearish environment. We have a bearish inverse fair value gap and we are building lower highs. So be really careful, because I think shorts will recommit at some point in this range. We are just trying to find some kind of level and price action structure to catch this move higher. And I think that's all that I got. Financials were also affected with regional banks, KRE, really holding better than I thought. But basically, we covered the issues, we covered the fundamental data, we did the technical analysis, and we are waiting for the earnings next week and how we can find some kind of structure down here to really see us trying to find support on this daily fair value gap towards my target, which will be the point of control in this range. This is going to be key. We trade this daily the same as we trade the lower time frames in terms of volume. The point of control is going to be key. And at the same time, you can see how this trend lower, this zone, is going to be key at some point. If we start to build, be careful if we have confluence with the point of control and also the trend here, because that would mean that shorts will have the setup to recommit again, to short sell again the Nasdaq. And that's all from my side. As always, thank you for your time. If you found this video useful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel because I upload videos like this one every Saturday for the weekly recap and also Monday through Friday for weekly recaps, for daily recap, daily forecasts, and market analysis. So as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the views. I really appreciate how you support this channel more and more, and I'm going to continue doing this. If you want to have any kind of analysis in other markets, just let me know in the comments down below. If not, I will continue with this structure. I hope you have fine opportunities, and this is time for join the weekend to really stay away from the markets a little bit, to stay calm, to rest, do your own analysis, and let's start again next week on Monday fresh and be able to really catch every opportunity. Be patient, be disciplined, manage your risk, because more and more this market is really starting to be very difficult to trade. Stay safe, everyone. Have a nice weekend and see you on Monday.